Hey all, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to take a look at this guy. It is the Legacy Core Class, I believe it's Wave 3, Pretender Bomb Burst. And you know what, I've really enjoyed so far what they've been doing with these guys. I understand the limitations of not being able to have a Pretender shell, at least not at a reasonable, logical price point and whatnot. So, this is sort of you know, an amalgamation of the inner robot, the outer robot. Sometimes it works, maybe sometimes it doesn't. How well does it work for this guy? Well, we're about to find out in the latest GotBot True review. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, light them up, baby. That's right, hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all of the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links, all of that in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we have to offer to you through Spring, or of course, you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. I apologize now if my voice sounds a little bit off. I've had a little bit of a cough and a tickle in my throat, and just, you know, been kind of recovering from that. So hopefully I sound normal, and if not, that's why. But don't worry, your boy will be all right. And this is Bomb Burst. Now, I have been one of the people who have really enjoyed these amalgams of outer shell and inner robot, because I understand that to actually make a shell takes up a ton of room on the mold plate. It's just, it gets to a point where it doesn't make logical sense to make the shell to go with this, because the price would just be too astronomical for what it is, for what is essentially a fringe character that really mainline purchasers aren't really going to know. But you know what they might do? They might look at this guy and say, hey, you know, this little weirdo looks kind of neat. Let's pick that guy up for, what, $10, $12 in the US, $16, $18 here. Pardon me, I apologize for that. I think he looks pretty good. I mean, it's not a perfect homage to his outer shell, but it's pretty darn close. And the little nods to things from the inner robot are pretty nice too. How well does the whole package come together? How effectively does it work? Well, we're about to find out when we head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And yes, indeed, here we have Legacy Wave 3 Bomb Burst. Now, I love the way the Pretenders have been done here. And this guy, the silent stalker of the night, that either leaves carnage in his wake or simply has bots disappear into the shadows. This is one creepy dude. He basically drains them of all their energy. And by rights, his big Pretender shell uses up a lot of energy, which means he needs a lot of victims. You know, when you're walking down that dark alley and you hear that creak, that sound, that scrape, and you're wondering what it is, and it makes you walk a little faster, that creep, that squeak, that scrape is probably Bomb Burst, alone, by himself, lurking in the shadows, just waiting to strike. He is an enigma among the Decepticons. But we'll get into that, of course. We're going to begin with the packaging first. And we have a picture of Bomb Burst up here in his hover jet mode. It is pretty much silent. Like, it is very quiet, though they show it here with thrusters. It's actually supposed to be very quiet and silent because he is a solitary hunter. He doesn't see himself as like a soldier in a war, right? He sees himself as a hunter, basically, right? And he is very, very adept at it. Over here we have an image of him on the side, the Decepticon stuff on this side, and on the back we have, of course, his product images. We have his instructions inside the box. If you want to see his tech specs, you know, there's your QR code. It's not on the packaging, so there you go. And here we have the little lad. I will note this, that in the packaging, take out the cardboard. When you take this guy out, on the back, wrapped in tissue paper, you have this axe thing and his wings. They're not on him. They're, actually, I don't even think they're, I take that back, they're not in tissue paper, they're just affixed on the back of the cardboard with plastic ties. Some people have said that they don't like the Pretenders being done this way. I love it, because the last time we had them, it was this. This is the last Bomb Burst I have. Also, apparently Bomb Burst if you fold him up right, can fit inside, as a happy accident, not by design, can fit inside his G1 Pretender shell. That's cool. This I got because I wanted a version of Bomb Burst, but I was never particularly happy with it. I mean, it is what it is. The arms move and that's it. So I'll take him back out of it. I don't think that the character of Bomb Burst is well known enough or prolific enough that doing it at Deluxe or Voyager or whatever would make sense. I don't think enough mainline consumers would know the guy to be bothered to get that. But you know what? For a Legend/Core class, somebody might say, what a weird, neat looking little weird Transformer Decepticon robot. I'm going to pick that up. I think that's why that works here, which was the exact same reasoning that I gave for why I thought it worked with Iguanas. And some people have said that they really wish that they would do the actual Pretender shells. Look, it's actually been stated, man, while that'd be nice in an ideal world, to do that would take up so much room on the mold plate that you're looking at, you know, like $100 or more, probably US, for a Pretender and his shell, for Bomb Burst, who is a very fringe character. Like, fans baffle me sometimes. Guys, like, sometimes you gotta look at things and say, what's the law of diminishing returns, right? They're gonna sell more units of this. It's as simple as that. Because people will say, ah, that's cute, or people will say, ah, that's neat, or people will say, ah, that's good enough, which is what I'm doing. I'm saying, ah, that's good enough. In terms of the look of the guy, well, again, we have that sort of hybrid type of look, where we have the robot really look like the outer shell, which is pretty good. I mean, the feet should be the light gray. The shins with the dark gray on top of the light gray is accurate. The dark gray for the thighs and the pelvis is accurate. The light gray on the body with the purple is accurate. The light gray head with the blue ears, accurate. The dark shoulders, that's accurate. The light forearms and hands with the purpley, pinkish, like line around the wrist, accurate. The bicep is dark, and I understand why, because the bicep and shoulder are one piece. But by rights, the bicep should be light gray. So in terms of the look here, I mean, the bicep should be light gray, the feet should be light gray. Other than that, this is pretty darn accurate. Now, just to throw kind of a little bit in the mix here, as an homage to the inner robot, we have the wing pieces that hang out on his arm that are also his blasters. If you're going to do a hybrid of the shell and the inner robot, I think this is about as successful as you can possibly hope for. I'm going to give it a 10. Honestly, like, it's Bomb Burst. You're not going to mistake it. This thing bugs me. Now, that being said, that axe, though, I think it's supposed to be like an armor-piercing axe or something, and it's something that the shell did have. I'll also note this. While he is supposed to be a silent hunter and he, you know, turns into this hover thing, I think in this case it's supposed to be a V-TOL jet. So, like, they've sort of changed his alt mode a bit. I'll also note that you can open up the cockpit section back here on his back, take this out of his hand, 3mm peg, by the way, and it's so strange. This obviously goes in here. There's a little rectangular slot down there that I'm pretty sure this is supposed to feed into, but trying to actually fit this in here is, you see what happened, right? It's a nuisance and a chore, and I don't find it works. Pardon the cut, but I did want to try and get his pieces on his backpack. If you don't want him on his arm, you can do this. It looks okay from the front, but then you go to the side, and really what's happening is we have two pegs that these go on over, a bit loose, and then once you kind of lock this piece in, I can't figure out any way to really close this up any further on his back. I think that looks awful. I'm going to get him back the way he was, and then we're going to do the transformation. Now, GotBot, don't get carried away. We're not going to the transformation yet. There's things I forgot. I'm so excited to have this guy. I've been waiting for him for a while. Here are my Decepticon Pretenders as I kind of have them now. I love this bludgeon. I know we're supposed to be getting a new one. Thunderwing is a custom, but I like it. And of course, that's the older Skullgrin. As of this recording, the deluxes aren't out in Canada yet, so I don't have the new Skullgrin, right? For the little ones that are less well known, like iguanas and like bombers, I'm cool with it. I'd be cool if we get a submarauder also done in this small scale. I would like that. Okay, now before the transformation, let's do the articulation, because I forgot that too. Okay, so for articulation, we have the head can go left and right a little bit. Because his jaw's kind of opened, it only goes as far as the collar allows. The arms go all the way around on a ball joint out to the side, ball joint to the 90 degree at the elbow. That also allows the bicep swivel. We have a waist on the guy, which is very nice. We have leg all the way forward, which is very nice. We have leg all the way back, which is also very nice. 90 degree at the knee. And because it's a ball joint, again, we sort of fake the thigh swivel. Legs go out to the side, say that far. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's very functional. And we do have an ankle tilt, which is neat as well because of the transformation. We have toe and heel. I'm going to say that the articulation on the guy, oh, my mistake. I'm going to say that the articulation on the guy is, man, I don't know if I could want much more. I'm going to say it's a 10. I think he's a 10 and a 10. I love the guy so far. What about the transformation finally now? Well, you may notice that I left this out because this piece should be in here because the very first part of the transformation is lifting this up over the head. Then we rotate the waist around. We bring the arms down to the side. We take the wing pieces and flip them up, which is strange because the gray piece is now on the bottom, but okay, whatever works for you, man. Then we fold in the heel and we bring up the toes and bring up the toes. We're going to bring the feet up over, and there's a rectangular tab right here on the leg that goes into the chest and here on the leg that goes into the chest. So we bend up at the knee and we bring this up over. We bend up at the knee and we bring this up over. And we tab both of those in, and boom, here we have him in his V-TOL jet / hover mode. I'm just going to kind of solidify a couple of things and clean it up, and then we will have a look at this. And yes, indeed, here we have the jet. It's pretty good. It's very rare. It's very, very reminiscent of the original, which I very much like. And, like, I don't know, are any of the colors even off? I don't think. Like, we have the dark gray, which are the arms. We have the blue wings. The way the undercarriage folds up is different, but it's fine. Maybe this blue tail fin here should be gray, but even this up here is pretty much the right color. I'm happy with it. The only thing is, while he had a 10 and a 10, I'm going to say the transformation is more like a, I'm going to say it's more like a 7.5. Here's why. While I like it, I wish that this thing just had a more intuitive way that it tabbed in instead of trying to kind of push it up here in the hope that it catches. And I wish that the arms tabbed in somewhere. They don't really tab in. Like, you kind of make sure that they're lined up there, and there's almost a little, if you push them in, there's almost like a little section right here where they'll kind of stay, but I don't find that they really tab in. Not like the legs tab in underneath. It's not bad, but I feel like slightly more could have been done there. I'm happy with it. It's simple, but I feel like between him and Iguanas, I feel like Iguanas has the better engineering and has a more interesting transformation. That's why this guy's a bit lower. Happy with it. He was a 10, a 7.75 or 7.5. Overall, the guy's 8.25. It is a neat little transformer. Is he a necessity? No. But is Bomb Burst ever a necessity? Probably not. I'm glad to have him. He's way better than that Titan's Return one, even if he's not absolutely perfect. And here we are, and here he is once again, and like I dig him for the most part. I do wish that this backpack tabbed in somewhere. It doesn't really, it really doesn't seem to. Like, if friction's fine, but it doesn't take much to make it go back. I wish that this axe thing that he has had better storage than this needing to be way off of his back. I don't think that was the best. These on his arms are fine because that's what we did with the inner robot. It's nice that you can put them on like these two circles on the back here. But again, to really get it to kind of work, you got the backpack really sticking off. So, I don't know. I guess it depends on, do you prefer a backpack that's a little bit more compacted on his back, or do you prefer like clean robot arms and hands where nothing's on his arms and nothing's in his hands? There's an argument for both, to be honest with you. It's too bad that it's not hyper effective in both forms. I think for me, the lesser evil is keeping his wings on his arms and I guess his axe thing in his hand. It's not ideal. I feel like between him and Iguanus done at the core class size, I feel like Iguanus is the better offering, but this is definitely better than what we got in Power of the Primes. There's no doubt about it. I would like to see a Submarauder done this way. And while I do like the jet/hovercraft mode, again, I wish that the arms had somewhere to really kind of peg in. There are things about this that are really great, and he looks nice. He's great on the shelf. I even like his open mouth. But there's a couple of things here where I'm like, I feel like your engineering, I feel like your design got a little bit lazy here. Maybe I have missed a couple of tabbing in points, possible, but I don't really seem to see it. What's done wrong, I suppose, or done unfinished, feels unfinished. But what's done right feels fantastic. And I, for one, am still happy to add this guy to my collection. Let me know what you think about Old Bomb Burst. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member at any time, man. Hit the subscribe button, stick around, have some fun with us here on the channel, and don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single day, you right there, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres, or the old fashioned way right here inside the videos.